We have a huge amount of slugs, as I call them, who have sat in their little seats, their little positions of power, again and again and again and again and again. You just keep winning, and there's really no reason, because they're bad. They're not good people. They're not effective people. They're merely doing what the Democrat National Committee tells them to do and how they should vote. And they're just a solid vote for the left, period, over and over and over again. So as long as they don't make waves, as long as they don't really cause any problems or controversy for the Democrat Party, they get to keep their seat. They'll make sure of it. They get rewarded for their service by getting to serve like this man. He's 81. He's fighting some kind of cancer. That's at last report. His hair has definitely died. And his name is John Garamendi. And he's a congressman out of the San Fransicko Bay Area, in the East Bay, they call it. He's been in office since the 80s. And now that this coming November, there's an actual real challenger to his seat, who's a Republican, the only Republican running in that race. Several Democrats are running against John Garamendi. John Garamendi doesn't go on CNN. John Garamendi doesn't ask questions in committees. He just doesn't do much of anything. He's just a solid little left vote who looks good and has nice hair. So people in the San Fransicko Bay Area keep electing him over and over and over for decades. Well, now that he's running and he actually has a Republican challenger, RUDY RECILE is his name. He's a friend of mine. And I'm a delegate with the California Republican Party because of RUDY RECILE. He asked me to be one of his delegates. RUDY is making some noise. RUDY is making some inroads, and people are paying attention because there's actually a Republican running against John Garamendi. John Garamendi, who's 81 years old. Get out. So now the Democrat Party decided to put him on some committee, and he's questioning the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, about what's going on in Iran. And Hegseth owns him. Watch this.
Secretary Hegseth, you have been lying to the American public about this war from day one. And so has the president.
Lying.
You have misled the public about why we are at war. You and the president have offered ever-changing reasons for this war. You've misled the public about the progress of the war.
You know that?
While the military has executed this war with tactical success,
you know that how?
The strategy has been an astounding incompetence. You and the president have offered ever-changing reasons for the war. You have misled the public about the progress of the war. While the military has executed this war with tactical success, the strategy has been an outstanding example of incompetence. This war of choice is a political and economic disaster at every level. Despite the president's promise to lower the cost of living, gas prices are up 40% and inflation is soaring so much for lowering the cost of living. The president has got himself and America stuck in the quagmire of another war in the Middle East. He's desperately trying to extricate himself from his own mistakes. It is in America's and indeed the world's interest that he succeed.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't see a question in the statement from.
He never actually asked a question.
You appreciate how reckless it is. When I said reckless, feckless, and defeatist of congressional Democrats at the beginning, that came after watching you say the same thing on CNN this morning, a quagmire. My generation served in a quagmire in Iraq and Afghanistan, years and years of nebulous missions and utopian nation building that led us to nothing. What we have right now, the way you stain the troops when you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in. The effort, what they've undertaken, what they've succeeded, the success on the battlefield to create strategic opportunities, the courage of a president to confront a nuclear Iran, and you call it a quagmire, handing propaganda to our enemies. Shame on you for that statement. And statements like that are reckless to our troops. Don't say I support the troops on one hand, and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here? Who are you pulling for? Our troops are doing incredible work. They've done incredible things for the entirety of this mission and achieved incredible battlefield successes. And you sit there and go on TV for your clickbait about quagmires. It undermines the mission. Your hatred for President Trump blinds you to the truth of the success of this mission and the historic stakes that the president is addressing, which the American people support. Iran's been at war with us for 47 years. You want to talk about a forever war? For 2 months, this president has stared them down. He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, so the Democrat Party decided to put John Garamendi up there so he can get a little press and they can have, some little snippets they can run in their commercials in this campaign. They didn't want to spend any money on getting Garamendi reelected at the age of 81. They didn't want to spend any money because it's always been a given. But now here comes Rudy RECILE. And suddenly they're going to have to try and prop that fossil up and pump some air into his lungs and try and manipulate his mouth so he makes words come out haltingly at best. I'm not one to tear anybody down for their age. President Trump he's 80 now, isn't he? What a difference. What a huge difference. But the point is, because Rudy RECILE is now challenging that slug, John Garamendi, they're trying to prop him up. They put him in front of that committee and let him ask a question so they can get some great video. And Hegseth makes him look like the goofball that he is.